Hey guys, what's going on? Call with the Car Guys, bringing you a brand new video here tonight. I'm actually joined by YCS Atlanta 2017 champion Corey Roca. How are you doing tonight, Corey?
I'm doing really well.
That's good. I'm glad you could actually make it on the channel. I remember right after you had won, you were not actually given the deck list out, but then kind of suddenly had a change of heart. So I'm glad that you actually chose, the home of the car guys to actually, make this possible to bring the deck list to everybody out in the community. I'm really excited to talk to you, pick your brain about a few cards in your deck, and overall go through your, deck choice, why you played this particular deck versus obviously a zoo, which pretty much runs this format right now, and obviously go over your tournament experience, your rounds, and any shout outs you want to give. So introduce yourself, where are you from, and take it away.
I'm Corey Roca. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. Most people have never heard of Delaware. It's right next to Philly. Um, yeah, I decided to play Paleozoic instead of the zoo because overall it's just the best matchup you could possibly have. It's nearly impossible for zoo to win.
Awesome. Well, I know going through, looking at your deck here, everybody sees it on the screen right now. It's pretty standard, yet there's a few cards in here that were just like, uh, should he be playing that? And I heard by watching a few videos, there were rumors actually going around of you playing Drowning Mirror Force in your decking alongside Storming. But as you see here, Storming was the only card of choice, which you maxed out at 3 of. Why this particular card versus, Drowning or even Mirror Force, for example?
Um, well, I wanted to dodge every My Body and every Starlight Road that was in the room. As you can see from the main deck and the side deck, the only cards that can get My Bodied are side deck cards. At that point, they were probably taking out their Starlight Roads and their My Bodies games 2 and 3 versus the Paleo deck.
Of course,
So,
awesome. So, seriously, with all the cards you were playing, you kind of wanted them to have more blank cards or like more bricks, technically, in a sense, playing against you, which obviously a lot of people actually did. So,
yep.
so Storming was obviously a very good meta call in main decking 3. Of those cards, and another card is that a lot of people had questions about. I saw plenty of Paleo players playing it in their deck this weekend. Was actually Lost Wind. Why did you end up actually maxing out on 3 of this? Can you kind of explain what this card does?
This card is actually just absurd. In the Paleo, just if you open up one of these, it's actually just like a +3 if you have a Paleo in your grave. So Lost Wind, since it can change, it alters attack, it can be activated in damage step against zoo. So they'll have Drancia attack like a set dupe frog on your first turn. So you can damage step activated on Lancia, so they can't whip tail it. So they'll just actually take 2,000 damage. Then main phase 2, they will. Of course, the attack change is permanent and the effect change is permanent. I remember the first time I read it, I couldn't even understand how this card wasn't even being played. And actually, if I played Zoo, I would have played Lost Wind in my Zoo deck. It really is just probably one of the best cards since Strike and Barrier.
That's awesome, and for them to make it a rare just makes it even more absurd. Like, it's so easily accessible to everybody. So that's a really cool card. I'm glad you actually ended up main decking 3 of those. I know a lot of people had to read that card this weekend and got blown out probably by it as well, if I'm not correct, right?
Yes, in my top 8 feature match, you will actually see my opponent. He will get Lost Winded on his Tiger Mordar, and then he ends up just passing. On my next turn, I go and I make a Toad, and I attack that same Tiger Mordar after he just took 2,000 damage. He attaches another Whiptail from his hand.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's on stream, so people could watch it. He attaches another Whiptail to the Tiger Mordar, and then I'm just like, okay. And then he takes the 2,200, and he has to read the Lost Wind again.
Jesus.
Yeah, and the guy that I played, he's extremely, he's on Jobber, he's a very good player. It's just this card was not prepared for properly. This card is so new, and honestly, I can contribute many wins to this card.
Awesome. So obviously, probably one of the best cards in your main deck, other than maybe like Storming and Swat Frog, I would say.
Believe it or not, I think it's the second best card or third best card in my deck. First being, of course, the Swat Frog. It was very kind to me. Dimensional Barrier, which is skip your turn, and then Lost Wind, the third best card in my deck.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let's go into your side deck here. I know there's a lot of weird decisions, I guess you could say, not of people not knowing exactly how to side deck in this particular deck. I know I see Forbidden Apocrypha and I see Magic Deflector. Now, why did you play Forbidden Apocrypha at 3 at that in your side deck?
Honestly, it's the second best going second card versus Zoo. First, obviously, being your Ryget, your board wipes, and then there's this card that sends your opponent's cards to the graveyard. So, when you go second against Zoo, they're going to probably have Invoker, Drancia, Emerald. Like, that's just the standard field. Because one Terratop produces a +7 for some reason.
Yeah.
So they're going to have those 3 Xseeds. So they're going to draw for turn, and then you're going to flip it up. I only sided in the Forbidden card going second. I feel like it's strictly a going second card, and it just really shouldn't be in your main board or added when you're going first.
Of course. So pretty much, would you just activate this card like standby phase, like draw phase, when you set it? Like
yep.
When you pass your turn.
Yes, absolutely. You don't want them getting that second draw off the Emerald. It's already bad when an Emerald walks anyway, so you definitely don't want them getting the second draw.
Very, very true. Very true. Now, going on to obviously the second card that we discussed prior, Magic Deflector. So why exactly was this card so good in your side deck? And what was it good against?
This was actually the best side deck card I actually came up with the deck. It is, what people don't realize is they think, oh, it just blocks Twin Twister, it blocks MST, it blocks Galaxy Cyclone, yada 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 for MST removal and everything. But this card, is just absurd. It actually stops Tenki, it stops Barrage. And along with that, it stops the Twin Twister when you're going second. So anytime I would ever go first versus Zoo, I was having all 3 of those copies in there. And it's almost like it skips their turn. Because you're going to stop the Barrage, You're going to stop, everything. It's just so good. And also, versus the Invoke deck, it shuts down the field spells along with all the Barrages and the Twin Twisters. It really is amazing.
Okay, awesome. So pretty much it's that's, like you said, the best card in your side deck because, from what I understand, overall you played all but 3 Zoo decks. So
yes.
It was just that card, it was the best. Now, would you side going first and second?
No, just first.
Just going first? Okay.
Yeah. The reason being for just going first is you have 4 cards to your name and they have 6. So by the time they Twin Twister you have 4 also. But if you have the Deflector set, it actually turns it into a 2-for-1 exchange, giving them now 4 cards to your 4 cards. So it actually just right off the bat, it evens the playing field.
Okay, it evens the advantage. I like that. That's really good. And again, going back, the Paleozoic deck is very good at simplified game states. So going first, this card would actually help even out the game a lot more.
Correct.
I like that. Now, could you go over your tournament report? I know you had that written down and give what you played round by round and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Round 1. Well, first of all, I guess I should say I actually didn't lose a single game until round 7.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just, it believe it or not, it was just crazy how hot I was running and how good of a deck decision it was and the choices I made in my deck. It was a very easy tournament up until round 7. So round 1, I played a friend of mine, Paul Cooper, who, believe it or not, directly after our match, I ended up winning in time, 2-0. As soon as our match ended, he was like, "Man, you played so well. Like, you're probably gonna win this event after playing like that against me." And long and behold, I ended up winning.
Shouts to Paul. That's the man right there.
Yeah, he called it before I even thought it.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah. Round 2, I played against Lawn Mowing Infernoid. I 2-0'd them because they did not draw Lawn Mowing. That is a nearly impossible matchup, and I just lived the dream by them not drawing the Lawn Mowing.
So when they had 60 cards, where you just kind of like, it kind of hit you in the stomach a little bit, like, oh shit, like, don't draw lawnmower.
Yes, everybody has the oh shit moment. Cards in deck, 60. Damn it. I really hope bad things don't happen to me. But yeah, round 3, I played against Zoo, 2-0. Round 4, Zoo, 2-0. Round 5, Zoo, 2-0. Round 6, Kaiju Zoo, 2-0. Round 7, first loss. And it was actually in my opinion, the most innovative deck that has topped in such a long time. It was Burning Abyss Shadow Zoo. And
that guy. Okay.
Yeah, the guy that topped. And I actually was walking around with him for the rest of the day. He's a super nice guy, and he has a good mind about the game. He really does. I expect good things from him in the future. Yeah, so he destroyed me, man. Game 1, I got obliterated. I had no idea what to expect. I actually played through his Zoo engine, and I was like, okay, so now I can outgrind him, and I'm gonna win. Then he goes special summon Farfa, normal summon Scarm, and I'm like, okay. Now I dealt with his Beatrice, I dealt with the Dantes. He adds them all back, he searches tour guide, I handled the tour guide. And then I have Opabemia on field, and he goes Shadow Fusion. I'm like, man, what just happened to me? Yeah, what just happened to me? Yeah, Frazier Smith was actually watching my game. He was like, "Is this a joke?" And it wasn't, man. That deck was good. That deck was really good. Round 8, I played against Lawnmower Lightsworn. He did not see lawn mowing again. Like, I lived the dream. I really did. The 2 lawn mowing decks I played up until round 8 did not see their lawn mowing. Round 9, I lost the die roll, and I was playing against Lawnmower Paleo. I was really sad that I played against so many Lawnmower decks, because you're already so scared of it as soon as you see that giant stack of cards in front of you.
Yeah.
I lost the die roll. It's very important to win the die roll in the Paleo mirror. It's almost like impossible to win if you don't win the Paleo die roll. Game 1, he just makes Toad, wins right through there. Toad is impossible to deal with at that point. Game 2, I get lawn mowing, and then game 3, I get double lawn mowing. So I guess you could say I got all my lawn mowing that happened to me all in one match. Then round 10, I lost versus Zoo. So basically at this point, I went 8-0, and now I'm already 8-2 by round 10. I thought, please don't let this happen to me. Round 11, I won against Zoo, 2-0. My final record was 9-2. Now we're on the top cut. I played against Kamal Crooks, and he was playing Invoke Zoo with a very good list. I never would have thought to play 3 of the searcher that searches the fusion, and then only 1 fusion. Like, it was very, very intelligent. So that's who I played in top 32. In top 16, I played against Metal Foe Zoo. In top 8 was the feature, Zoo. Top 4, Zoo. Finals, Zoo.
So pretty much at this point in time, like, like we previously said. By the way, guys, this is the second time recording. We had computer malfunctions. So going into this event, obviously you were planning on just playing every Zoo deck every single round, and that was going to be it. Maybe like one 60-card deck, which ended up being the mirror out of all things. But going into this event, like, the meta call was what can grind more than Zoo, obviously. And your meta call playing Paleo was, like we had previously said in the first recording, I kind of compare it to the 2014 Nationals, when when the Lightsworn dragons were a thing, and then mythic rulers and Sylvans, and then like Gear, and then you see the hat, which hat obviously dominated that tournament. This is kind of like very similar to that, with only seeing a few Paleos in the top and dominating in that. So, going forward, Paleo just seems like a really good meta call versus any Zodiac format. What do you think about this deck in general? Do you see this becoming more of the norm? A lot more Paleo decks actually playing in a lot of regionals, ARGs, and even YCSs, or even at the UDS?
I truly do. I really think it's a very good decision. If you play Zoo, I mean, at least my thoughts on it, I was never walking into that room with Zoo. I had many people offer me the deck and to play with. For people that don't know this, I actually had all of my cards stolen. My window was broken out, and they actually pulled out all my stuff. It was literally $15,000 worth of cards and everything. So I've been borrowing every card lately. But I actually ended up buying a Paleozoic deck just for myself. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to play Paleo. I can't deal with all these barriers. There's just so many. There's so much variation in these mirrors. Like, you just can't predict it. Even against like a well-renowned player like that plays all the time, plays against an average player. That average player, in my opinion, has almost just as much as a chance of winning as the renowned player.
Of course. Well, I commend you on this meta call. It's pretty cool to see something other than Zoo actually win the YCS instead of seeing just Zoo after Zoo after Zoo do very well at all these other tournaments. So congrats on finally winning something. I know one of your goals was to win an event, and you finally did it here in Atlanta just this past weekend. Any final closing words you want to say? Any shout outs you want to give? Anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Huge shout out to Turner Bratton, who's a very good friend. He must have brought me like 10 bottles of water during that top cut, man. Just trying to stay hydrated. Good friend Matt Cairoli. He, like I said, man, just people have been like great about letting me borrow cards. Drew Carter lets me borrow cards. Also great with theory. And Johnny Nagel, who let me borrow strikes literally 15 minutes before round one started.
That's
I
awesome.
was scrambling for strikes. Also, a shout out to my good friend Stephen McMurdy, who actually showed me the Forbidden Apocrypha card and was just like, this has to be good, right? And I went immediately home and tested it.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on such a crazy tournament, such a great meta call. So will we be seeing you at ARG Atlantic City this weekend?
Yes, I will 100% be there.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, congrats on the win. Good luck in this tournament as well. Hopefully you can bring it back and go back to back at premier events and everything. If you guys don't know as well, I'm gonna put a quick plug in. Shout out to Yahir Amat. He's actually the creator of Champ Trade, and I was talking to Cody Angeloff last night in regards to a new video I'm going to be putting up, and last year about this time I was doing a video about the top 10 players from the end of Worlds the previous year to right before Nationals. So right now we're at the 6-month mark where we have 6 months past Worlds, and right now Corey is actually number 1 on that list of Champ Trade amongst other players across different teams, and it's really cool to see like where different players rank up, and it's such a big accomplishment. First off, to see your name as number 1, right, Corey? Have you seen it yet?
I actually haven't. The only way I knew this was from you telling me that I was number 1. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of success right now. I've been play testing a lot, just literally playing so much. So seeing just getting this success and actually knowing now that I'm, I guess you could say, currently since Nationals of last year, currently having the best year is just such a great feeling.
Now, do you have any words of wisdom of any players wanting to aspire to become a YCS or an ARG champion, like, do you have any pointers, tips, tricks, anything that you do that you might think is unique compared to any other player?
Honestly, the best advice I can give you is sort out your hobbies. I actually don't play any video games. I don't really do anything else beside, as far as like hobby based, besides play cards, and I play a lot of cards. I just basically, you just got to work really hard. I guess as far as a method to decide what I'm doing, I actually I'm sure people have noticed in the past I run a maximum of 4 traps, like in any deck I play. I hate trap cards, which is just so ironic considering I won with a 27 trap card deck. It's just so ironic. But if you look at the last event and then the event right before that, it'll actually be screaming at you what deck you should run for that following event. So it's like, you don't always have to make like a meta call or anything like that, but you can see like what the good cards are, the cards you need to prepare against, and the cards that you need to have in your deck and or side in order to have a successful tournament. And I really think that's huge when deciding on what to play and what to run. And also having a competitive edge and bringing something new to the table that people don't know about is also huge.
Awesome. Well, I thank you for those words. I'm going to take that into consideration as well going forward. I will definitely put those words to use. Hopefully, a lot of viewers out there take those words with what you said and just run with it. Because obviously, if he can do it, it's within reach for anybody, and just making the right call, play testing, knowing what cards do. And getting sleep, that's another one thing. You need to get sleep, too, to do well at tournaments. So, thank you
Sleep
very
is
much
so
again,
important.
Corey. It really is. I mean, granted, I don't sleep that much, but in order to, grind through, Lord knows, more than 14 hours in a day of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then not getting much sleep and then getting up again and doing it again, like you had to play 9 rounds day one. We didn't get out of there till like 11:30, I want to say.
Yeah, it was like almost midnight.
Yeah.
I was so lethargic, man. By the time the finals happened with Chase, I actually activated the Dynamiscus card to banish a card on his field, and he negated it with Totem Bird, and I still threw my Swap Frog in the graveyard.
I saw that.
I was so tired.
Yeah. And that goes to show, hydration and sleep does a lot. But if you're playing that long, it's a whole other ball game at that point, So, again, Corey, thank you for coming on the channel. Thank you very much for going through the deck with us, giving your insight on certain cards. And congratulations again on finally achieving something you've always wanted to do, which is win a YCS. I'm glad you could do it in my home state as well. It's really cool to see somebody's story and see you grow as a player throughout these past couple of years, and finally coming out and doing something you set on doing for the longest time. Any other final words before I close this off here?
I think it's, I guess what I would like to say is I think it's actually just really awesome. I'm actually moving to Atlanta in 3 to 4 months.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so I was talking to my wonderful girlfriend, Ella Flores, and we're actually moving there together. And it's just so cool. It's like the place that I'm going to end up living is the place where I made one of my dreams happen. So it's great.
Awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to see you at Locals very soon as well. For closing words, guys, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more great content like this. If you guys have any more people you want me to bring on the channel for video styles just like this, let me know in the comments below. I plan on doing this with all the winners of all of the big premier event tournaments. Also, if you guys haven't already, click this notification bell on the side of our name where subscribe is. Every time we post a video, you will get a notification on your phone stating we've uploaded a video, and it helps the channel grow. It shows it shows to me that you guys are dedicated to our content, and we're so very glad that we could bring you this type of content. I'm so happy that Corey was had chosen us to release this video and everything. I hope you guys like it. If you didn't like the video, of course you did, though, of course. But refresh it, try it a second time around. But that's it for me. I'm Kyle with the Car Guys. Thank you very much again, Corey. And we'll see you guys later.